Good morning. All right, so we are having retail sales on 6 a.m. At 6 a.m., you are going to be having retail sales. So this week has been market condition has been very. It has been very difficult for us to continue getting trades. So far since Monday, we got a trade. Nothing again. So around, let me check the time the news is going to happen. So the news is going to be happening around. So it left. Okay. So a few seconds for the news to be released. Let me check the retail sales. So they're expecting negative. So I'm expecting pound to sell. Let me see. So a few seconds for the news to be released. Let me check it. I didn't come to the stream early, so I'm not able to analyze the fundamentals very well. This is what they are expecting, negative as compared to the previous one. So expecting pound weakness. Let me see. So 25 seconds more. They're expecting negative numbers on retail sales, which is going to affect the pound negative. So I'm expecting a sell for pound to move down. Let's see whether it's going to have an impact. Expecting a sell on pound. Yeah. Okay, so maybe it looks like, let me check the number that was. Okay, so the number. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so you see initially they were expecting negative 0.4 as compared to the previous numbers, which was 1.0. But the numbers that came, the actual numbers was 0.3, which was positive. That's why we are seeing the pound rising. You get it? So as I said the other time, the numbers are not going to be accurate every day. This is just a forecast. It's a speculated numbers. So the numbers that came out was 0.3. That's the actual. So comparing the actual to the forecast, the actual is way higher than, or the actual is it's positive as compared to what the forecast. So that's why we are seeing the rise in this thing. So sometimes you might be lucky and the forecast is going to be like, as in what they forecasted is going to be the same as the actual number. Not the same, but at least in line with the number, the actual. But this one, it happens to be, you see the actual numbers. This is the actual numbers. Initially it was negative 0.4. That's the forecasted. So as checking it with the previous, it was way negative. But this one, what happened was the numbers that came out was 0.3, which is what which was positive. So that's why we are seeing pound weakness. So yesterday I was thinking, so the retail sales this time was very, very impactful. The retail sales was very, very impactful. As you are seeing it over here, it was very, very impactful. That's why we are seeing the rise. All right, so let's analyze and see whether we are going to get something positive. But I think the market structure has already been invalidated. The structure has already been invalidated. It has already been invalidated. This week has been, the market structure hasn't been clean on the pairs. Let me check USD CHF. It's also doing its own thing, very slow and steady. It has been slow. Okay, so let's do the analysis and see. So let's check the fundamentals. On the fundamentals, so the only high impact news you're having today is the 6 o'clock retail sales. It has already happened. So aside that, you are not having any major news event. We are not having any major news event today. You are not having any major news event today. The news has already happened. So let's analyze everything again. So 6 a.m. the retail sales has already happened. We're having some medium impact news. So FOMC member Weller speaks, which is at that time you won't be on the chart because today is Friday. Today is Friday, you get it. As I've been saying, today is Friday. So for me, for instance, I don't think maybe after the London session, I'm just going to find some place and chill because I don't have to stress myself. Because this week I just got only one trade, which was a win. So maybe I'll just chill. I'm not going to worry myself on the New York session to ruin my week. So I'll just go and find some place and sit and chill and forget about the New York. So if the learning session I don't get any positive thing, I'm just going to relax because I'm way ahead. So you see, some people are negative this week, and if you are positive, as I said, if you get a winning trade, try and protect the money. Don't give it out. You need to be stingy in trading. You need to be stingy with against your progress. You need to be stingy. So if you get a win, protect it, hold it very tight, and don't give it out. So I had a win, and I've been able to protect it from Monday to now. So if the learning session I don't get anything positive, I'm just going to sit someplace and chill, forget about the market, and come again next week. So let's see GBP USD and see whether we are going to see any positivity, going to get something positive. So as usual, let's move to the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, checking the structure. Checking the structure on the monthly time frame. So let me say this thing: being disciplined is sometimes very difficult. You get it, but you need to be very disciplined. You need to be very disciplined. As in the time you wake up, the time you check the chart and those stuff. This morning waking up was very tough, but you see, you need to wake up. That's your job. You need to come. You don't have to give excuses. You don't have to give excuses. So the monthly time frame, we have this is the resistance, and we have the support over here on the monthly time frame. So moving to the weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame is what? An uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. So the moment this one broke, it turned towards an uptrend, moved further again, retrace, move further again. So the moment, so you see the highs have been broken, the lows have been broken. So this one turned it towards a downtrend. So currently, the trend is what? A downtrend at the weekly time frame. So the trend at the weekly time frame, the trend is a downtrend. The trend is a downtrend. So moving to the daily time frame, was it this level that rejected price or what? Let me see. Is it this level that's rejected price? So let's move to the daily time frame and see. So on the daily time frame, the daily time frame too is a downtrend. You get it. So we had lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high. So the moment this one retested, this one is just making a retracement. So this is the nearest rejectional level. This is the nearest rejectional level. So this weekly time frame. So the daily time frame is a downtrend. The daily time frame is a downtrend as well. Let's check H4. So retail sales this time was very, very impactful. It was very, very, so it is making the retracement to the daily resistance level. It is retracing to the daily resistance level. It is retracing to the daily resistance level. So the H4 has already been invalidated. Yesterday I was thinking, the plan was, since we had a support level over here and the candles were consolidating around this level, I was thinking maybe we are going to have a continuation of the trend. The price is going to retrace around this level, and even if it retraced around this level, you would have you would have missed the trade, because the way retail sales was very, very impactful. You would have missed the trade. So this is the retail sales news candle. So you see how big it is. So this tells you that the retail sales was really, really impactful. It was really, really impactful. So it is now moving to, so the structure, the setup has been invalidated. So now the H4 is currently what? An uptrend. The H4 is currently an uptrend. H4 is an uptrend. This is the level. So H4 is an uptrend. So mostly we want, especially, or most of the times you want the daily and H4 to be in the same direction. But now H4, the moment this candle broke here, it became what? Broke and closed. It has become an uptrend. So what you would do for now, the H4, there was no entry, there was no setup. Now there's no setup on H4. So this is the new candle. So now what is left for price to do is what? To come here and rate test, to move to this side, system pips to this area. So when you move to the H1, we're having a lot of what? We have support, resistance. So the chances of price getting to this side is very high and rejecting. But for setups, as in getting set up on GU, everything has spot. Everything has spot on GU. Nothing for us to look for on GU. Because now everything, the retail sales have been what? Has invalidated all the. Okay, so we have support over here. We have support over here at the daily time frame. And we have support over here. But this one has the candle has already been broken. The candle has already broken it. So that's why this one is being rejected. But currently, as in selling, everything has invalidated. So you just have to, with GU, there's nothing good for. I'm even surprised the whole of this week, GU never gave us any opportunity. So this is where we started the week. We started the week with a lot of we started the week with a lot of consolidation. If you guys can see it over here, we started the week with a lot of consolidation. So this was Monday. Monday was 8th, 9th consolidation. So today is 18th. So there was a lot of consolidations. A lot of consolidation. So this was CPI on I think because when you started the week, you were having a lot of news events on on GBP. So it started on Tuesday. We had claimant count change during the lending session. So I think we had like 3 news events. So one, that was the claimant count. We had CPI, that was on Wednesday, and today too we are having retail sales. So this week was sort of a lot of news events. So I'm sure because of that, that's why opportunity wasn't given. Because most of the time, what's happening is when there was news event, the market is going to be slow for the news to be released before everything was set in. So I'm sure because of that, that's why we are seeing a lot of consolidations. And so you see how the news event was. So as I said, we had claimant count change on Monday. Let me check the candle. The claimant on Tuesday, rather, that was 15th. Let's see 15th. A candle on 15th. Yeah, so I think it's this one. Yeah. So you see all the big candles you are seeing are the news events candle. So this claimant count change, that's the unemployment benefits. You see the news candle. This is the candle, the 5 o'clock candle. And this is CPI. Let's check the CPI. That was on 16 CPI. So you see the big candles, and today is Friday, which is 18th. You can see the candle. So all the big candles you are seeing was as a result of the news event. Aside that, the whole week has been a lot of range. So you can see after the news event, we had a lot of ranges. This is the ranges after the news event. This is the Clement. After the Clement count change, this the after the CPI, the following candle was a lot of ranging. So today is Friday, so I'm sure since you're having multiple zones over here, this one too is going to continue series. It's going to range. You're not going to see any better things, and at the same time too. So mostly the market trend when majority of the time frames are in the same direction. And now the H4 is doing its own thing, the daily is doing its own thing. Well, if you move to the daily time frame, we are nearly towards a rejectional level, and the chances of price retracing or the chances of price rejecting is very high since you have gotten to what a rejectional level. So the probability or the chances of price retracing is very high. So that's what I'm saying. After the learning session, I'm not going to look at the chart again because there's nothing promising. There's nothing promising over here. So we are just going to chill. So I will just go and find some place and just reflect on the week. So let's check the GJ2 and see whether there was something promising. So GJ on the monthly time frame, it was really doing good. So this some of my favorite setups that happen on what this is my favorite setup, but it happens to it happened on the monthly time frame. So you see price broke. It was the same thing that happened on last 2 weeks. The trade we took, price broke, made a red test. What are you expecting? Trend created a support, trend continuation. So these are some of the setups that I mostly prefer. You get it? These are some of the setups that I mostly prefer to be trading on. So on the monthly time frame, we had a resistance over here. That was on the monthly time frame. So we're having a support over here. So the way the monthly structure has formed, this is one of the setups that I normally prefer taking. You get it? So if you watch GU, very well, if you watch it carefully, it's the same thing that happened the other time when you move to the H4 time frame. If you move to the H4 time frame, it was the same thing that we took on the last 2 weeks. So if you can watch it carefully, so you see price broke. That was what I was. It was the same thing I was like. Price broke, retested, created a support, made a retracement. What are you expecting? A pullback. So it was the same thing that I was expecting it to happen today. Price broke out, created a support. What am I expecting? Continuation to the next level. So it was the same thing that I was expecting it to happen over here. But this time it refused to happen. So the monthly time frame, that's what it is doing on what GJ price created. So the whole of this month, as we started the month, I've been talking about. But this one, you see, it's a high time frame, and where to even place your stop loss is going to be very tough. You can't be placing your stop loss because price has created a support over here. Expecting the continuation of the trend to the next zone. So something of that sort was what I'm expecting. Price was making higher highs, higher low, higher high support, continuation to the next level. That was what I was expecting. So when you move to the weekly time frame, so we have a tradable zone over here. This is the tradable zone at the monthly time frame. This is the tradable zone at the monthly time frame. So when you move to the weekly time frame, so the weekly time frame is really, so you see, was it yesterday also? This weekly time frame, this one what made a pullback. If you watch it very well, this one made a pullback at the weekly time frame. That was yesterday. Thinking maybe so. Yesterday I was even saying price can come to this level, move to this retracement level. So this level is very strong. We had what monthly support, and at the same time, the weekly too, we're having a support over there. So this level is really strong level. So you see how the the weekly time frame is forming. So it looks similar to what the trade you took on USDJPY the other time. It looks very similar to the trade we took on USDJPY, USDCHF the other time, but this one happened to be on the weekly time frame. So if not the stop loss, you would have even been taking a sell targeting this zone, because price broke out, created a support, made a retracement, and what are you expecting? A trend continuation. So the tip has also been broken. The tip of this one has also been broken. But the thing is, what that you can't, where you place your stop loss is going to be very difficult. Where you place your stop loss, you would have even been taking a swing trade, but where to place your stop loss is going to be very difficult. So that's why mostly we need to move to the lower time frames and what find for an entry. So when you move to the lower time frame, this is how the weekly is looking. The weekly is looking the weekly candles are forming. So we have a resistance at the weekly time frame. We have a resistance over there. A lot of consolidations. The price is trying to break out from the consolidation. So that's what mostly we move to the lower time frames to. So looking left, is there any promising market structure? So price is currently on what? This H4 structure. So GJ is looking good. Yeah, so I think today GJ is looking good. So the daily time frame is an uptrend. So let's move to the weekly time frame. So I think today GJ is looking good. If you move to the weekly time frame is an uptrend. The daily time frame is also an uptrend. So with the weekly time frame, this is what's happened. There was higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. You get it. So the weekly time frame is an uptrend. The daily time frame, too, kind of consolidating, but the trend has broken out, higher high, higher lows. You get it. So the daily time frame is an uptrend. The daily time frame is currently an uptrend, but we had daily. So this is the tip. The hidden line you are seeing is the tip of the weekly candle. So the daily time frame, is an uptrend. It's an uptrend, and we're having a resistance over here. So moving to the H4. So you see, H4 is currently in a consolidation. So the best thing we can do is wait for price to break and close over here, because we have a resistance over here. So this zone is kind of, so the H42 is an uptrend. So you see this one like this, if you are getting a trade over, but the stop loss is very rare because it's looking good. If you are taking it on weekly, your stop loss is really going to be very, the stop loss is really going to be very big. So you take it over here, the stop loss is 334 pips, and they take profit. So I think it's worth it. But 300 is going to wipe your account away. So GJ is looking good for a buy. But before that, we need to wait for. So you see how prices, the level is rejecting price from moving up. Even though you're having clean zone, if you look left, you're having clean zone at your left, but we have a rejectional level over there. Okay, so mostly you just need to watch. You see how this level price is trying to move up, but it's kind of finding it very difficult to move up. If you are watching it well, price is really finding it difficult to move up. So even if this candle close above this one, it's going to be like a breakout entry, but you can still take a buy in the sense that the stop loss is what is going to, so it will be 110 pips. 110 pips targeting. So 1 to 2 rigs to reward. Okay, but it's worth it. It's worth it. But the best way is to what? If price is able to break, make a retest like this. You get it? Like what happened on USD CHF. Those entries are the best. So if you check USD CHF, this trade, you see this one, as it broke out, it made a retest and continuation. So it's similar to GJ. You get it? It's similar to GJ. What is happening? So those things are, because you're having a nice zone over here for price to fall. By looking at the weekly time frame, price is really looking promising for a long-term buy. But currently, you are on a rejectional level. Okay, but the best way or the best market pattern, the best pattern that I'm looking for, I would love to see, is when price has broken through like this. If you see the bullish candle breaking through, the next one retesting. You get it? The next one retesting, and the following one breaking above is what I would love to see. You get it? It's what I would love to see. It's what I would love to see, something like this. It's what I would love to see. So the breakout, then you take a buy. So these are the things that I would love to see. You get it? These are the things that I would love to see. These are the things that I would love to see. But I happen to. So we are waiting for the breakout. Let's see. Maybe lending open is going to break it out. If lending open, break it out, because this was a news candle. So this was the 5 o'clock candle. Let me check the H1 and see. So you see, even it's open with no wick at the top, at the bottom. So because the news was very, very impactful, that's why we are seeing something like that. So mostly when the news is impactful, when there was volume in the news, you see the candles opening with no bottom wick. You get it? So because the news was impactful, that's why. So it created a support. So I think GG normally we mostly see patterns like this on GG. So this one like this, let me see the H1. So okay. So there was an entry. There was an entry. If not the news, you would have gotten an entry on GG. Yeah, there was an entry over here. So you would have taken it on maybe the M30. Yeah, the break above this one. It would have been a nice entry, but because of retail sales, I didn't even check it. There was an entry on GG. Okay, this is the daily time frame, because daily is already uptrend. So the entry would have been, so price created a support over here. Price created a support. Price created a support. There was a support over here. So the candle rate tested on it, moved to, when you move to the M30, when you move to the M30, when you moved, there was a perfect. So if there was no entry on H1, I think M30, there was an entry on M30, so you would have taken it at the break. But this was a news candle. I didn't even check it well. So there was an entry on GG. So the entry would have been here. You would have taken a buy over here. But this was the news candle, 6 o'clock. So you couldn't have taken an entry. Wow. There was an entry on GG, which would have been a nice trade. So you could have even taken a buy. The stop loss would have been the previous candle tip. So you would have used the ongoing candle dip as a stop loss. So the stop loss would have been around the side. Wow. So this morning would have been a nice trade. So this morning. So you could have even gotten a trade over here. The breakout. Then we took the buy. But yes, so unless you check it out. Unless we check it out. So now you are trying to find the second entry. So the first entry has elapsed. It has been invalidated. You get it? It has been invalidated. So the entry would have been around this side. So GJ normally gives an entry like that, because if you watch the previous distance, we have a lot of entries like that on GJ. So break and retest, break and retest, break and retest. This one to the same thing. Catching GJ is very, very difficult. But if you get it to, I think there was a lot of. So there was an entry on GJ, but because of the news, I didn't even check it early. I would have missed it. If not, I didn't even check it early. So there was an entry on GJ, but it has been invalidated. So we are waiting for the candle to break and give us the second entry. Okay, so now today maybe all eyes is going to be on GJ. So let's check GBP CHF and see. So the monthly time frame on GBP CHF. The monthly time frame on GBP CHF. So we have a resistance over here. You're having a support over here. So currently, price is in what? An uptrend and break retested. Price is in what? An uptrend. So when you move to the weekly time frame, so the weekly time frame, but so it's GBP-CHF2. I don't know why. I was thinking it's one pair that normally gives a lot of good range and other stuff, but I've come to realize that it has a lot of consolidations on GBP. So maybe with this pair, sometimes it's like when you are not expecting it to give an opportunity, that's when maybe the days that there's no opportunities, the days that maybe you are not getting setups, that's when it's going to bless you. That's what I've seen about this space. So like this week, for instance, you are not having a nice opportunity. So assuming maybe you were relying solely on GBP USD, you would have been what, you wouldn't have gotten a trade this week. So that's what I'm seeing about this pair. So even if you have them on your watch list, just keep them. The weeks that maybe your favorite pairs are not giving you trade setups, they are going to be there for you. So you just keep them unexpected. Sometimes you'll be there and what it will create, or it will give you the nice range and you take advantage of it. So we are just keeping them in our watch list. So GBP CHF, we're having resistance over here. We have support too over here. So moving to the daily time frame. So the weekly is what? An uptrend. The weekly is an uptrend. So moving to the daily. Daily too is an uptrend. You get it? Daily is an uptrend, but it's on what? A resistance level. Price is currently on a resistance level. Price is currently on a resistance level. Price is currently on a resistance level. So that even though the trend is an uptrend, but you don't have clean zones, you don't have better zones at the higher time frames. So that's what I'm seeing. As I'm saying, sometimes they will be there for you. The times that you are not having or seeing opportunities on your favorite pairs, they will be there and they will give you the opportunities. So let's see. There was no opportunity, there was no trend, there was no clean trades on what? GBP USD. So the news has already invalidated all the setups. You get it? It has invalidated all the setups. So let me check USD CHF and see. So this one too gave us. So imagine, so from last week that it gave, the beginning of the week that it gives us a nice setup. So this was last 2 weeks too. So last 2 weeks too, it gives an opportunity. USD CHF give an opportunity. It gives an opportunity over here. Let me check it. The daily time frame. So this was what, 5 o'clock. The 9 o'clock candle. The 30 minutes. Yeah, so I think this one gave an opportunity. And that was last week. So let's see this week. So the beginning of the week, it gives opportunity. Last 2 weeks, so there was an opportunity on it. So I think this pair is promising. Sometimes it gives a lot of opportunities. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, so there was another opportunity to over here. I think this pair is not bad. GBP GBP USD CHF is not bad. So last 3 weeks too. So there was an opportunity to on second. This one. So it's really trend. So you need to look to that pair. I think early. All right, so let's see. So let's move to the monthly time frame and see whether there was an opportunity on USD. So the monthly time frame, there was a support over here. So the weekly time frame. So let me check. Okay, let me finish and see. The weekly time frame too. The weekly time frame, you haven't. The weekly time frame is an uptrend currently on this resistance level. Currently on this resistance level at the weekly time frame. So we had support over here. So moving to the day, so currently it's on a strong level. It's on a strong level. So today, what we are looking for is mostly the zone because it's already trending. You get it? It's already trending. But if you move to the daily time frame, prices. So the daily is not bad. Is I think next week might be a good week. The price that's next week might be a good week because I'm seeing a clear zone, clean zones at the higher time frames. This one. So if not this one, next week would have been a nice week for us to get trades. So next week might be a good week. Yeah, but the zones. Yeah, so maybe next week might be a good week because I'm seeing some promising zones. So either this one will move down, retest on this one, then we get a continuation. You get it? Then we get a continuation for it to move up. So this is what maybe it might happen. But when it comes to the trend, all the time frames are trending up. So you just have to look for an opportunity. You get it? All the time frames are trending up. So what is left for us to do is for us to look for an opportunity. But currently, the daily is looking good. There was a nice trend, but the H4 is what is giving us a lot of consolidation. So you just have to look for a pullback, but we can't tell. So we just follow. So I'm hoping maybe it will trend down to this side. Then next week, checking the H. So next week might give us an opportunity, but this week I'm not sure something. It will come break today. It will come and break this one. I'm not sure of it. So I'm just waiting for. We are just waiting for the retest on this one. The next you will take an opportunity. So what did you guys yesterday? Let me check the USD Euro USD. So it came back to the level. So Euro USD came back to the level. So this is the pullback that I was talking about. It's pulled back to the same level. So if you are taking a trade, then you need to wait for this one to close on here. Then you find an entry at the lower time frame. Who is saying it's a buy or sell? What does it mean it's a buy or sell? So GJ was given an opportunity this morning, but because of news events, we missed the trade. We missed the trade on GJ. The entry would have been here. So the entry would have been around this side. The entry would have been around this side. So the entry would have been at the 30 minutes or M15. It gives a nice structure. So the entry would have been here. The breakout. So this same entry has happened. I've seen it happening before. All the same. So what you are going to wait for is the break and close above this one. Then we look for a buy entry. And even if the candle break and close above this one and it doesn't form, give us a support. So next week, if not this week, next week is going to be a good distance. So let's check gold. Wow, gold has broken the highs. So as I said, gold is going to move furthermore. It's going to move up after before, unless the election has passed. So as I said, I've been saying this thing. It has broken the candle, the previous monthly candle, and still heading up. So if I don't know why, if you saw good now, I don't know why. What's wrong with you? I don't know what's wrong with you if you saw good. So the weekly time frame. We had a resistance over here. So let's move it to the daily time frame. So they are trending up. The trend is all uptrend. The trend is all uptrend. So H42 is an uptrend. So this one happened around. Okay, that's the Chinese session. So they're all trending up. So now, if you want to get an entry on gold, if you want to get an entry on it, then you need to wait for it to pull back. Because if you are taking a trade now on gold, there's no level. So you have to wait. So we had support. You get it? So you need to wait for price to come retest on this one. That's my opinion. Then you take a buy. Because if you are taking a buy over here, where to place your stop loss is going to be an issue. You get it? Where to place your stop loss is going to be an issue. As I said, I don't normally rely, or I don't normally what do you call it, like focusing on the lower time frame. So you wait for price to retest continuation of the trend. That's what I'll be expecting it to happen. But still, you don't have to be looking for a sell. Yeah, if you are looking for a sell, I don't know what's wrong with you. You are just going to lose. Just look for buys. The market is trending up. You don't have to go opposite what majority of the people are doing. So just the market is trending up. This is an uptrend. So why do you want to sell? Do you want to take advantage of the short-term moves? Is it the short-term moves that you want to take? Just look for a pullback, then you take the buy. Just wait for the pullbacks, then you take a buy. But for now, there's no entry. So price comes to me. If I'm taking an entry on gold, then what I'll be doing is I'll wait for price to pull back. Normally I want big moves, so this is what I'll be waiting for. By someone who is focusing on shorter time frames, might be looking for an entry, just quick scalp on 15 minutes, which I'm not good at that. So I'm good at the high time frame. That's what I do. So GU, it does not trade. So it's going to range because you have a lot of concern. You have a lot of key levels over here. So what I'm expecting GU to be doing is what? It's either will range or what? It will move here. So if you see, if next week, if price moves to this side, then you'll be having enough ranges. So I think next week will be good week. Next week is going to be a good week. Looking at the structure, let me check the economic calendar too. So next week, so Monday we don't have any high impact news. Tuesday you don't have any high impact news. Wednesday lending session you don't have any high impact news. So Thursday is what it's when we're having the PMI on euros. And Friday. So next week is really going to be a good week. Looking at the market structure and the economic calendar, you don't have any major impact news during the lending session. So next week will be a good week. According to how structures are forming, next week is going to be a good week. Next week is promising. So if the daily candle, I'm hoping today's daily candle is going to break above and make a pullback. This is what I'm hoping for it to happen. I'm hoping this one is going to break above and make a pullback. Then next week we take advantage of the pullback. Okay, so I'm hoping this one is going to move up. Okay, break these zones. Then next week there will be a pullback, something like this. Breakout. Next week make a pullback, then we take the continuation. That's one thing I'll be looking for. So today, it's GG. When the lending session opens, I'm very sure it's going to break out. So we missed the trade because of retail sales. We couldn't take advantage of this one. Because if you watch this candle very well, you can see the candle really gave an exhaustion candle. It gives what? It gives an exhaustion candle. There was a select exhaustion candle over here. So the entry would have been here. So on YouTube, are you guys hearing me? Okay. See how GG has moved. So the entry would have been around this side. So the entry would have been around this side. That would be a nice. See how it has moved. It has moved like 70 pips. Wow. 70 pips. So I'm sure it's going to break out. So that will happen around the lending session. So if it breaks out and close, but getting entry is going to be very, very difficult because of the stop loss. It's going to be an impossible because we have a 9 zone too. Since price has broken out, we have a 9 zone. We have a 9 zone, but if price break out, the best way to go by is wait for a retest. You get it? Is to wait for a retest. So we just missed the trade. So if you watch the H4 structure, you see there was a break and retest on this level. There was a break and retest on this level. So the entry would have been at this side. But because of the news event, the retail sales just invalidated everything. The retail sales invalidated everything. So this week was only one trade taken. It was only one trade taken for the week, but it was positive. Since it's positive, but it's really, so imagine like we were still holding the trade. Imagine we were still holding the trade. That was a lot of pips over there. Imagine we entered over here. Imagine holding the trade to this side. 74 pips. Risking only like the risk was even lesser than 10 pips. So it's going to be around 1 to 7. Let me check the risk reward. Yeah, the risk reward was going to be around 1 to 7. So it's about the good trade that you are getting. So imagine if you got this trade, you are holding it for 1 to 7. You are way better than someone who is scalping, who is taking trades every single minute. You get one trade, you are getting times 7 of the risk. Imagine. So it's not, so as I always preach, it's not about the number of trades you take, it's about the quality of trades you are taking. That's the most important. So it's not about the number of trades you take, it's about the quality of trades that you take. It's about the quality of trades that you take. That's what's going to give you, it's going to guarantee success in the game. And one thing that you have to know too is not every day is a most beginners think like trading is like 9 to 5. You see 9 to 5 when you go to workplace, every day you are expecting to work. Every day, since you are showing up every day, you are expected to work. Every day you are expected to work. But trading doesn't work that way. You will come and you not get a trade. So imagine you got trade on Monday and Tuesday no trade, Wednesday no trade, Thursday no trade, Friday no trade. You get it. And it's because of how I trade too. Those who focus on lower time frame like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, relying solely on 5 minutes, 15 minutes, those people will be getting trades every day. But it depends on what is giving you comfort. What are the things that you do that is giving you profitability? You don't have to just watch what someone is doing and you're also going to be doing the same. Do what is favoring you, what is giving you the profitability, not what someone is doing. So someone is focusing on 15 minutes, someone is focusing on 5 minutes. I don't care. What is helping me, what is giving me profit is what I have to continue doing. It's not about what someone is doing. It's about relying on my past glory. So I normally focus on higher time frame. I get trades, so my target is 1 to 2 trades within a week. If I get one trade a week, I'm done. 1 to 2. The highest is 1 to 2. 1 to 2 within a week. So it's not about the frequency of times you take trades. It's about the quality of trades you are taking. In trading, quality is better than quantity. So I'm waiting for this one to break out. If it breaks out, you have a lot of range to this side. 203 pips. So it's breaking. So I think lending is open. The lending session is open. Yeah. Oh, not this news. This news has really worried. The news has really worried. Just validated the structure. So as a trader, you need to understand what works for you. You get it? You need to understand what works for you. Then you follow, because you have many ways to do this thing. And everyone is seeing things differently based on his experience level. So you need to know what is working for you. Then you just follow. You get it? You just follow what is working for you. So you see how the level is rejecting the price. So we are seeing, so the chances of price retracing is very high, because you are seeing the exhaustion candles. Are you seeing the exhaustion candles? This candle tried to move up, made a retracement. This candle tried to move up, made a retracement. So the price is really struggling to what? Move up. You get it? So the chances of, even though the high has been broken, so the chances of price coming back is very high, because we are seeing a lot of rejection candles at 30 minutes. You get it? So the rejection simply means what? Price has what? Lose lost in control. Okay, so buyers are trying to lose control. Buyers are losing control. Sellers are taking over. So the rejection candles, first one tried to break, rejected, made a pullback. The second one tried to break, made a pullback, and seeing the third one to how it is behaving. So the chances of price moving, retracing is very high because of what? The barrier over there. So anytime you get to a barrier, price is either going to break out, or price is either going to what? That's what happens more often. So if you check the 15 minutes, a lot of rejection. Even 15 minutes, you're having four candles. We're having four candles. Rejection, 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 rejection. So a lot of rejections at the 15-minute time frame. So let's see whether price will break out. So it's always important to pay attention to the levels. Pay attention to the high time frame level, because anytime price will get there, we are going to see an action. So the effect can be a breakout or a retest. You get it? The effect can be. So with that one, mostly if you are already in the trade, so assuming maybe I entered the trade over here. If I entered the trade over here and price has gotten to this side, I wouldn't have cared much. You get it? I wouldn't have cared much. But if you are now going to enter a trade, then you need to pay attention, much attention to what? The levels. You get it? You need to pay much attention to the levels. You need to pay attention to the levels. But if you're already in the trade, then I think you don't have to pay, you don't have to care too much, because assume maybe you entered a trade over here, you are in the trade, you entered a buy over here, so you are in the trade. If price has gotten to this side, maybe you've taken some profits, or before price will get to your level, it's going to take a long time, so you will never care too much. But if you are now going to enter a trade, then you need to pay critical. You don't have to be entering on levels. Other than that, you are going to be stopped out more often. So you have to always make sure you are paying attention to the levels. What's going on? Yeah. So if you entered over here, I wouldn't have paid attention to this one so much. But if you are now going to enter the trade around this side, then you need to make sure what? You are paying attention to the levels. You are paying attention to the levels. So you see exactly, and you see this candle too. Not only that candle, this candle at some time ago, this one too also tried to to what? Break out and rejected it. You see the wick. So that's why this one too. So past data are very, very important in trading. You need to apply the past data. If you can watch, as this one created the resistance, this one tried to what? Move up. The level was rejected price or the candle to move up. This one tried to move, got rejected, and what? It gave us an exhaustion candle. This one to try, now this one is trying to break, the level is rejecting it, so the chances of this one pulling back is high. So even though sometimes it can break out, but before you enter a trade, you need to wait for the breakout. You need to wait for the breakout before you enter a trade. You don't have to buy over here. You get it? You don't have to buy over here. You need to wait for the breakout before you enter the trade. So I'm just chilling this morning, watching what price is doing. That's the beauty of trading, especially if you come to know what you are waiting for or what works for you. Everything becomes secondary, no stress. I remember those times, like there was a lot of stress on me, especially if I come to the market, because I was not having what normally I look for. I was now, those times I was testing my system, testing what is going to work for me. So I used to be stressed out and do stuff, but now I'm not stressed again. I just come watch. If something aligns, I take it. If there's nothing, I just wait for some time to see an opportunity. If there's no opportunity, I call it a day. So trading has become fun. I don't feel the pains anymore as compared to those times. Those times I used to feel the pains. There was a lot of pains because I was just testing. So the testing was as a result of watching the chart more often. Watching the charts more often. But now I just wait. Like as I'm waiting, I just wait and observe. So let's see whether, so now we are looking whether price will be able to break out. If you break out, then we take a buy for Friday. So the first move, we just miss it. The first entry would have been around this side, so we just miss it. So waiting for that. So the second entry is going to be the breakout of this one. Then we take it. So if you have a question, you can ask YouTube. If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box. It will be answered. So you see the level is being rejected. So if price break the low of this one, if price is going to break the low of this one, the chances of price coming back to this level is going to be very high. You get it? The chances of, if price break the low of this one, the chances of price or the candle moving to this side is going to be very high. You get it? So it's always it's important to make sure you are hot. So that's why we mostly place our stop loss on the levels. If you are buying, you place it above, okay? You place your stop loss below that level. If you are selling, you place your stop loss above resistance level, because those levels mostly is going to save you at times, like times that's what price is retracing. So normally that's why I normally would take trades. Other than that, I would have taken a buy. You get it? If you are taking a buy over here, you need to ask yourself, so in case price is coming down, because like the market moves like it's like levels, okay? It's like levels. It's like levels. So you see it is rejecting. Okay, it is rejecting. And when price is pulling back, if it price is pulling back, if there was no support or resistance, it's just going to move freely. You get it? It's just going to move free. So there is, so anything that I'm doing in this game, there's some reason behind it. So if we are taking a buy over here, if price is moving, if there's no support and resistance, it's going to move freely with no distraction. It's going to move freely to the next level. You get it? So anytime if you place, so suppose maybe if you are taking a buy over here, placing your stop loss around the side, placing your stop loss around the side. So you are going to hide beneath this level, this wall. Okay, you are going to hide beneath this wall. So anytime price is coming back, it is going to be very difficult. You get it? Price is really going to struggle to break this one, come against break this one. So I'm always going to rely below this one. So before price will break this ones, it's going to take a long time, and the chances are what? Going to be slim for price to break. But if we are taking a buy over here, if you take a buy over here and price is moving up, sorry, if you are taking a buy over and you want price to move up, if there was a retracement, price is just going to what? Just retrace freely, like very fast. It's going to retrace very fast to this level. You get it? So you are going to be stopped out. That's why always I advise you need to place your stop loss at a strong area of interest, or at a strong level, not any other level. I remember, was it this week or so, there was the same level. We had a level, I think USDCH. There was a level or so. By price easily broke it. The 13, I've forgotten where there was that level. Price easily broke through that level. I've forgotten that level. Price easily broke through that level. It was in the 30 minutes chart. Price easily broke through that level. So you need to always make sure you are placing your level. You are placing your stop loss at what? A good level. You get it? You're always placing your stop loss as a good level. So trading is technical. Trading is a skill. Trading is about experience. You get it? It's a skill, it's experience. So if you don't have that experience, that's when you start getting frustrated. Trading itself is supposed to be simple if you know what exactly you are doing. But it becomes very tough if you don't have any proper guide. So the level might break. The way it's moving, it can break it. It can easily break it. Yeah. So it's trying to break. But you have to wait for the candle to break above. We need to wait for the candle to break above before. So you see, it's trying. So you see how the level is very, very important. Price is really struggling to break that level. It moves up, come back, moves up, come back. So the high time frame levels are very, very important when it comes to taking an entry. So that's why mostly I use it for my take profit. So assuming I was supposed to maybe I entered over here, I would have taken profits around this side and allow some position to run. So mostly anytime price will get to those levels, it's going to struggle to break. So the way price is moving now, I'm very, very sure it's going to break out. So this week, today is the last day of the week, so we need to stay disciplined. Because if you run the week, you've given back your profit. So Fridays mostly are for withdrawals. So if you made some profit for the week, you need to withdraw it and have some fun with it. Because it's very tough for you to get come out successfully for the week. It's very, very difficult. So it might break. So if it breaks, it's going to break. But it's currently struggling to break. It's currently struggling to break. But I'm very sure it's going to break. If not the retail sales, you would have gotten a trade over here. You would have taken this buy over at this level. You would have taken a buy at this level. You would have taken a buy at this level. But because of the retail sales, everything spoiled. Everything got spoiled by the retail sales. Everything got spoiled by the retail sales. So price is really struggling. If you can see the exhaustion candle, it should tell you something. So now you're having one exhaustion candle, two exhaustion candle, 3, 4, 5. So what's the chances that this one too is going to break? So let's see whether this one is going to break and close. So when you see something of that sort, anytime you have multiple exhaustion candles, anytime price break and close, then the candle is going to continue up. Anytime price break and close, then the candle is going to continue up. Because there's no candle that has been able to break above and close. So if you see a candle breaking above and close, that means what? The level has been invalidated, because you see you are having one, and this one tried to move up, it's retested. This one tried to move up, it's retested. This one tried to move up, it's retested. Candles. So if this candle is able to break and close, then what? All these exhaustions has been up to continue up, because no other candle was able to break and close. So if this candle is able to break and close, so mostly we pay attention to the body of the candles, not the wicks. Okay, so if the body of the candle break and close, then the chances that price is going to continue up is very high, because no any other candle has been able to do that. So if the body of the candle, if you are all seeing it over here, none of the body of the candle has been able to break above. So if this body of the candle break above and close, then the chances of what price moving up is going to be what? High. Okay, so it's left with 8 minutes for this candle. Let's see whether this candle is going to break above, or it's just a rejection. It's just making a rejection. So mostly when the candle is moving like that, it doesn't mean it has what? It has. When the candle is moving like that, it doesn't mean what? It is confirmed. It doesn't mean it is confirmed. Mostly, what we normally use for confirmation is the body of the candle. If the body of the candle break and close, so that's why my support and resistances, I don't use the wicks. So you have people that they use wicks. I normally use the body of the candle. That's what gives. So the body of the candle is what gives accuracy, not the wicks. You get it? Not the wicks. The body of the candle is what gives accuracy. So you need to pay attention to that. So let's see whether this band will be able to break above. So as a trader, trading at the beginning is very, very tough. But you need to keep on going. And especially you need to learn and learn to see what fits you, or to see what works for you. It's very, and you have a lot of noise in this game. A lot of noise, a lot of people concentrating on different things. So we have a lot of noise surrounding this industry. So you need to do your own thing. Make sure you are trying to watch the chart more often to see what works for you. So you see it being rejected. It's also struggling to break above. So if the candle breaks above, then the chances of price moving up is very high. But now, currently, price is really struggling. It's really struggling to break above. Price is really struggling to break above. But mostly when it is higher time frame levels, okay, let me give you this clue. When it is higher time frame level, when it is the higher time frame level, not any other time frame candle, you can use it for confirmation. Especially this one, if 15-minute candle breaks above this one, since it is a higher time frame, we can't conclude it as broken. You get it? You can't conclude it as broken. You have to always make sure you are using a stronger candle, because it doesn't take a long time for those candles to break and close, for it to form and close. It's normally invalidates, or it's mostly fake out candles. When you talk about fake out candle, it means it's not the true movement of price. It can close above here, especially if you move to the 5 minute. I'm sure the 5 minutes has even broken in. Okay, so you see what the 5 minute is doing. So mostly, if you use those time frames, the reliability is not there. The confirmation is not all that strong. Okay, the confirmation is not that strong. So when it comes to higher time frame zones, especially the daily time frame, the H4, the weekly, I don't normally use the 15 minutes, the 30 minutes as a confirmation when it breaks. I don't normally use those time frame as a confirmation when it breaks. I normally use the higher time frames. Get it? I normally use the higher time frames, like if H1 breaks, if H4 breaks, because M30, even though M30 sometimes is strong, but you can't rely on it as compared to the higher time frame. So this is a stronger time frame level, and price is really struggling to break. Get it? Even the 15-minute time frame is struggling to break. So normally you have to use the higher time frame candles too. You normally have to use the high time frame candles as a confirmation. So GBP CHF is really moving fine. I have a lot of. Let me check GBP card. So the structure level is not that clean. So USD CHF is trying to take off for the upward move. The trend is still continuing. Okay, so next week is really looking promising. Next week is really looking promising. So it is moving further up. So it looks like the 15-minute candle has. Okay, so we have some few minutes for it to close. We are now seeing volume in the market. So in the next 15 minutes, so it's trying to break and close. It's trying to break and close. So I normally risk match, so I don't take average trades. So I wait patiently for the right entry, then I can risk a lot. So sometimes can risk like 20% of your account because you've waited for long patiently. You get it. You've waited long, so if you are risking, but that one is going to be your personal account, not on maybe an investor's account or maybe a profit. You can't go and risk 20% on profit. And even though overall drawdown is how much, it's how many. You can't risk. You can't risk 20%. That one is going to be your personal account. So with your personal account, if you are risking like 20% per trade, because you're going to wait for so long, a very long time before you execute. So if you are risking much on your account, it's you deserve it. But if you take trades more often, you can't be risking a lot. So it has broken about, but you don't normally use it as a confirmation. So USD CHF is really moving fine. USD CHF is moving well. What has triggered this pair to be moving like this? I really love this pair. I think after GBP after GBP USD CHF is going to be my next favorite pair. I love the way it moves. I love the way it moves. So my next favorite might be USD CHF. I love the way it moves. I really admire the way it moves. So let me push it to this side. I really admire the way it moves. It moves very well. It gives nice opportunities too. It gives nice opportunities. So the candle has broken above, the 15-minute candle has broken above the zone. So if the 15-minute, as I said, I don't normally rely on the 15 minutes as a proper candle break. So 15 minutes can't be, you can't rely on 15 minutes as a correct or as a proper break of structure. So I remember those times I would have entered a buy over here because I've seen a candle breaking, but later I noticed the 15-minute candle is mostly not reliable to me. I would have entered a buy because it has broken above a zone. So sometimes too, you can be taking aggressive trades based on the time you are in. So the 30-minute too has broken as well. So based on the time of the day, okay. So you see now, one thing is now we are in volume time. We are in volume time, 7:30 GMT. We are in volume time. So if we are taking an aggressive trade and those styles, you can see because of the time of the day, you can rely on those times to be that price is going to move, because if you are in volume, the volume is going to move according to how the market is trending. So if you are taking a buy, you just I was relying on the time of the day, but I will not love to be taking trades like that. I want to see a proper break retest on the higher time frames. Then I will take a big swing moves. So the first move was supposed to be here, missed. So waiting for the second one. So as I said, it can move up. You get it? It can move up, but the best way is to wait for the H4. And even if the H4 break, even if the H4 close, I will not love to take a buy because it's going to be a breakout entry. I love to see the rate test. You get it? So now it has broken. The first move has already taken off. This is the first move. So I would love to see the second one. So the second one is what, when price has broken above, make a rate test, because if you are taking an entry, where are you going to place your stop loss? Placing your stop loss is going to be very difficult. Where to place the stop loss is going to be very difficult. So you just have to wait for a pullback. So this one like this, the stop loss, the H1 gave a nice structure. So if you are placing your stop loss, the stop loss is going to be at the M30 structure. So it would have been something like this. You get it? So you have a structure level, and with the structure level, you have a key level over here. We have a key level over here at the H4 time frame. So you see, we had a support. So as I said, I always rely on those levels to place to take a trade. I always rely on those levels to take a trade. So that anytime price is pulling back, so you see where I'm placing my stop loss, it's going to be at a strong level. So before price will try to try to come down, it's now going to face this support level. So try to move and it will come again the next try. So before I will be stopped out, then I know before price will come down, then I know what you get it. It's going to take a long time for price to come down. it's going to take a long time. So that's why I always place my stop at those levels. So the, you see how the 15 minutes, even though the candle, you see the fake out. So this is a perfect example of a fake out. Perfect example of a fake out. So if you have heard of fake out before, this one perfect example of a fake out. You see the candle has broken above. Perfect. Checked. The next candle has broken the tip of this one. Checked. You see what now the candle is doing now? If you are not lucky, the candle is going to close below. This one won't happen on the heights. It's going to be very difficult for it to happen on the high time frame. But maybe it is doing a pullback. It's not a fake out yet. Maybe it's not a fake out yet. But if it breaks below, then you have to know that it's a fake out. So this, if it breaks below, then it's going to be a perfect example of a fake out. And the reason why I'm saying don't rely on any time frame break, especially the 30 minute, the 15-minute break as what a confirmation. But maybe it hasn't it's not confirmed yet, so you can't rely on that. Maybe just a pullback. It's not a fake out. But if it is a fake out, then the candle is, if the candle close below, comes down, then this one is just a fake out. But maybe it's not a fake out. It's not a fake out yet. Maybe it's not a fake out yet. It's just making a pullback. Since the candle is not going to come down, it's not okay. So it's not a fake out yet. Just a pullback. But if it's closed below, then it becomes a fake out. Because since the candle has broken above this one, the tip of this one, it is confirmed that it should go further up. You get it? It is confirmed that it should go further up. But if it comes down, then it has faked a lot of people. Those who took the buy, it has faked them out. But I'm sure maybe just a pullback. You see, it's now rejecting the level. It's trying to break through the level, and it's rejected. So let's see what's going to happen. If it's closed below, then those who took the buy, has been trapped. You get it? They have been trapped. Your stop loss is going to be hit. Even if you take a buy over here, so let's say you are going to place your stop loss at the next structure level. You are placing your stop loss at the next. So stop loss can be two ways. You either place it at the next candle low, or you are going to place it at the next structure level. So if price break this one, those who use the candle structure are going to be stopped out. And if it counts further below, those who use structure are going to be stopped out. So it's always important that this is the reason I normally recommend higher time frame. So you see, when you use the lower time frame, you are going to lose a lot. That's a fact. Don't be fooled. You are going to lose a lot if you use the lower time frame. So assuming maybe you entered a buy, you are saying, oh, price has broken. So those who entered buy over here, because you see, the reason why I'm saying people will enter buy over here is because when you check, there was a clean zone. If you move up, there was a clean zone to this side. Okay, now candle has broken above. Candle has broken above the zone. So if candle breaks above the zone, then what? you will tell yourself now you can enter a buy, because one, you are in volume time, 7:30, you are in volume time, candle has broken above, it has broken the tip. Like, all the confirmations are there. You get it? All the confirmations are there. So why are you going to be trapped? You are going to be trapped because of what? The time frame you use. The time frame candle is not a reliable candle to focus on. That's why you are being trapped. So you need to pay attention to all these things. You get it? You need to pay attention. So those who entered the buy are now. So as I'm saying, since the candle hasn't closed yet, it might be just a pullback. Okay, it might just be a deep pullback. But if the candle close below, then people stop loss are going to be what shattered away. So you see how it's moving. If it breaks below, then those who entered the sell, those who entered the buy will be stopped out. Because when this is a higher time frame level, so the only time frame to use it as a confirmation is what. So those who entered the buy using the candle structure has been stopped out. It's left with do. So you need to pay attention to anything. And I'm having experience. You get it? I'm having the experience. So if I tell you to do this, I've lost money before doing these things using the lower time frame. So you see, if you watch Euro USD, for instance, the setup on Euro USD yesterday, for instance, if you are watching this one carefully, you see as the H4 candle broke, the candle broke and closed a zone. This is a higher time frame candle breaking the zone. This is a higher time frame candle breaking the zone. And this is what, if the higher time frame candle breaks, it's not any other time frame like H1, M30, M15. This is a higher time frame, and it takes a long time for this candle to fall. So for 4 hours before this candle will fall. So if the H4 close, I use it as what, a confirmation, not any other time frame. So you see, I hope you guys are seeing the fake out yourself. So I hope you are seeing the fake out. See, the candle has deceived a lot of people, thinking maybe price. So you see the rejection. The level is still being rejected. The level is still being rejected. So now the candle is going to close below. Now the candle is going to close below. It's left with few seconds. So if the candle closed below this one too, the chances of price coming further down to this side is very high. Price coming further to this side is very high. So our advice, don't use those time frames. Don't use those time frames. Make sure you are using the higher time frames. So this one is going to fake a lot of people. It's going to fake a lot of people. Wow, Sandy, it's been a while. How are you? I've not been seeing you more often. So patience in this game is patience is golden in this game. If you feel like you are not taking a trade, so you are not going to obey your rules, that's when you start losing money. So you have to always stick to your rules. So my rule is to wait for the H4 to close. So it's now trying to flip again. So you see, the 15 minutes is more of fake out, but the 30 minutes hasn't broken it. The 30-minute candle has not been broken yet. The 30-minute has not been broken yet. But the 15 minutes is a lot of what. So with the time frames, you need to know the time frame that normally works, as in the candles are strong, and the time frames that the candles are not strong. So for every trade varies based on what, the condition of the market. Every trade varies based on the condition of the market. So sometimes you can see me using 15 minutes as a confirmation, trade confirmation. Sometimes too, you can see me using 30 minutes as a trade confirmation. Everything depends on the condition of the market. So if you ask me what time frame do I even rely on to take entry, so sometimes I can use the H4 for trade confirmation. Sometimes too, I use the 15 minutes for trade confirmation. So it depends on the time. It depends on the time. It depends on the time of the. It depends on the condition of the market. So you see how the 50 minute just break and close the levels. The 50 minute just break and close the levels. So it's always important to use the higher time frame. So it looks like it is rejecting. But 50 minutes has already rejected it. The 30 minutes. So this one closed with no wick at the top. Let me check out code and see what's happening over there. So gold is making a retracement. So GBP JPY is really struggling. The candles are really struggling too. So this candle closed with no wick at the top, at the bottom. It's closed with it's open with no wick at the bottom, so the chances of price coming down is very high. So the game is all about waiting. So if not, like maybe I'm doing the stream with you guys, I wouldn't have been even be watching the chat now. That's what normally I do, but because of the stream, because of dedication, that's why I'm even here. So I know exactly when there's going to be an opportunity and when opportunity is not going to come because of the experience level. So sometimes the market is boring. Other times, so you come to the stream and you just get a trade at that instant. So it depends on the time. Sometimes it's really, really boring. That's why I said, because this one, the chances that price is going to move, this level is going. So you see, this level is really, really strong level. So this level is really, really strong. The way it's being rejected tells you that, it should tell you that the level is really, really strong. So it is pulling back. The level is rejecting price to move further up. The level is really, really strong. So the 15-minute time frame is not a stronger time frame to rely on. When you see a strong zone, especially the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, using the 15 minutes as a confirmation is really, really not the best way to go. So let's do this. So how did the week go? How did you guys your week go? How many people are trading live, and how did it go? Did you come out profitably, or it was not a good week? So share your opinion. How did your week go? How was the week so far? So share your opinion. Did you come out profitably? Did you get a winning week, or it was just a loss? If you had a losing week, that means you can't move out and chill. Oh. Or you people are not trading. Sandra, how did your week go? Sandy, or you people are not trading? How was your week? Did you come out profitably? So he's trying to bounce back again. You people are not talking. Why are you ghost? Am I seeing ghost on the stream? So the level is being rejected again. So the 50 minute just stopped you out and it's moving again in your favor. So it has moved back to the zone again, but it left it 5 minutes for it to close. So it has not closed yet, so we can't conclude. But the chances of it moving up is very high. I think USDCHF2 is trying to make sense. Oh, it has retraced. It was really moving well, and now it has. So you see the levels. The levels are rejecting price to move further up. The levels are rejecting. So you see when it gets to the 30 minutes, it just break out. But when it gets to the higher time frame, it just gets rejected. You see this one. You see the exhaustion candles. Just rejection, rejection, rejection. So the high time frames levels are very, very important. You need to pay attention to them. So this is where the level is. This is where the level is. So that the lower time frames, the high time frame levels are very, very important when it comes to. So the wicks or the wicks, the rejectional candles that you are seeing is what is appearing over here. So this is the rejectional candles. So when you come here, this is the body of the candles. This is the body of the candles. So this one too is being rejected by the daily time frame. So as I said, if you have a lot of the ranges, the chances of us going to see consolidation is very high. I'm watching GJ. GJ is what I'm looking at. So if the candle close below, then the retracement is going to be the chances that price is going to retrace is very high. So if it's close above, then the possibility that price is going to move up is very high. But with that one, placing your stop loss is going to be very difficult because we don't have a good structure level. You see, all the candles are breakouts. There's no retest. They are all breakout candles. There's no retest. So you need to wait for the retest, then you execute. So this was a proper retest. Price moved up. This is just a breakout. Breakout, the stop loss is mostly wide. So let's see how the 30-minute candle is going to close. So it looks like the 30 minutes is breaking below. If the 30-minute break below, so let's wait for the 30 minutes to close. So if the 30 minutes close below, then it's a perfect example of a fake out. So this is a perfect example of a fake out. A perfect example of a fake out. If it breaks below, then that means because this 1 hour, the 1 hour refused to break out. So you see how strong the zone is, the high time frame zone. So if this one breaks below, then the chances of price moving down is very high. So it was good because I made profit. The most profitable thing is that I learn a lot. Yeah, so the best teacher is the market. The market is your best teacher. The market is your best teacher. So the H1 closed below. The H1 now closed below. So the retracement. So this is a perfect example of a fake out. A perfect example of. So the M30 closed below, broke above. So thinking, oh, now price is going to move out. Let me take a buy. You took the buy. Now you see what's happening. Price has now broken below again. You get it? So you need to always wait for a retest. Retest is the best way because anytime price break a zone, it's going to what? Retrace and it will continue. So this is a perfect example of what's waiting for the higher time frame candle to close or waiting for a retest. So now you have been stopped out in case you entered a buy. You have been stopped out now. So you can't outsmart the market. You need to wait for the condition of the market. So Joseph said he made some profit. That's good. So if you're able to make profit in the market, you see, some people, because you are trading small accounts, or you think, oh, this is not the money. So imagine, just ask yourself, so the profit that I've made, in case maybe I'm trading like 100,000 accounts, multiply the percentage you got and do the math on 100,000 accounts or $1,000 $10,000 accounts or $100,000 accounts. You see the outcome. So you need to value the distance. You need to value the returns you are getting. So you need to value the returns you are getting. You get it? You need to value it. So if you're able to make profits in the market, then you are on the right path. So even $1, $2, and you didn't lose anything, you got something from your brokers, then you are on the right path. Okay, you're on the right path. So you need to always make sure you are valuing the money you are getting. Okay, so at this point, the market is kind of boring. So that's the nature of trading. Trading is it's a boring game, especially if you are not getting. Just watch the ticks of the candles. It's really boring. So that's why even I brought out the live stream for us to talk charts as you are watching the chat. But it looks like I'm the one doing the talking alone. Okay, so if there was nothing to talk about, I think there was no opportunity for today. They're all ranging. The market has been ranging. This week not been seeing nice trends. It has been difficult. So I'm sure next week is really looking promising. So USD CHF2 has retraced. So next week is really looking promising. Next week we might get a trade on GBP JPY, because I'm sure by the end of the day it's going to close above. If it's close above, then maybe when the market opens next week, you are going to see some retracement, then we take a buy. So next week we might get a trade on GBP JPY or GBP USD. So this week, if not USD CHF, we wouldn't have gotten a trade. If not USD CHF, we wouldn't have gotten a trade. So USD CHF came in and blessed us. And so next week too, I'm seeing some USD CHF2 is looking promising next week. So let me check. So this way, I don't want to even. Let me check. Doesn't look on. Okay, so if there was nothing to talk about, okay, have a nice day, guys. See you next week. Bye bye. So bye bye, YouTube. See you next week. Bye.